All right, so far from the Thursday's task card in the weekly planner, we have hit mid-unit assessment. And there are some resources here. Let me show you what we have. This right here is your assessment. To the right of your assessment is the note catcher on Patriots. In this note catcher is everything I typed in. If you followed directions and did what you were supposed to yesterday, you have one with something that you added to. You can use that as a resource too. All of these things are really going to help you out on the mid-unit assessment, okay? Then right here, I have the reading that you guys did, Revolutionary War Part 1. And right here, I have the book, Divided Loyalties. I'm going to read pages 4 and 5 to you, which is the introduction, and it's right here if you have to go and access it, or if you like to read along while I'm reading aloud. Some people like to do that. All of these things are resources that you can use on your assessment, including the note catcher on Patriots that you filled in. These are the ones on mine. You'll see the ones that we did together. So if you will open up your mid-unit 1 assessment. Okay, so part 1, read and answering questions about informational text. Okay, so read pages 4 and 5 of Divided Loyalties and answer the following questions. All right, I'm going to read to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you can have yours, your test open. And I'm going to read to you. You can follow along in the slide that I made you if you'd like, or you can listen to me and look at it later. Introduction. Colonies or country. Before it became a country, America was made of 13 colonies. These colonies were ruled by Great Britain. The colonists followed British laws and paid British taxes. They were also citizens of Great Britain, but they could not vote in the British government. Some colonists, called patriots, felt that this was unfair. The patriots wanted to set up their own government with their own laws. Other colonists, called loyalists, were proud to be part of Great Britain. In the 1700s, Burlington, New Jersey was caught up in these questions of loyalty. There and elsewhere, the conflict between patriots and loyalists divided friends and family. And when you look at the resource, you're going to see a map that shows New Jersey and the surrounding colonies in the 1700s. And at the bottom, you're going to see a great timeline of things that happened before the American Revolution. Okay? All right. So go ahead and look at your, whoops, wrong mouse. I have 2 mice on my desk, which is really confusing. Okay, so go ahead and click on, and you have part A. According to the text, what was the conflict in the 1700s that divided friends and families? Underline the best answer. So you're just underlining one answer on this one. A, colonists took different sides in the war between Great Britain and France. B, some colonists wanted to set up their own government and others wanted to remain part of the Great Britain. C, each of the colonies wanted to become a separate country. Or D, New Jersey wanted to become a separate country ruled by Great Britain. If you'd like to go back to the reading, open that slide and check, and then underline your best answer. All right. And then if you haven't already gone on to the next question, it says part B, which details from the text best explain why this conflict occurred? Underline the best answer. So that means one answer. A, the Patriots.
We're supposed to be,
Sorry?
are we supposed to be answering questions?
Yeah. We're doing this one. We're walking through this one together. All right, so A, the Patriots supported Great Britain and the Loyalists supported France. B, before the Revolution, America was made up of 13 very different colonies. C, some colonies felt they were being treated unfairly by Great Britain and others did not. Or D, New Jersey was caught up in questions loyalty. Anderson, I see that you just entered.
Sorry.
You need to go to the planner. That's okay, just quiet for a second so I can tell you how to catch up quickly. Go to the mid-unit assessment. In the mid-unit assessment, wait a minute, I better share my screen so you know what in the world I'm talking about. It works better if you make sound effects. I don't know if you knew that. There we go. Okay, so in the task card, Anderson, hit mid-unit assessment. You're going to have to look at this one right here that says divided loyalties, page 4 and 5, because I just read it out loud to everybody else. And you're going to have to read that to answer the first 2 questions on the mid-unit assessment. All right. If you go on to the next slide, you can see on questions 2 and 3. Well, question 2 is links to the timeline. And it says underline the best answer. So that means there's only one answer. So go ahead and take a look at the timeline in another tab. You can open that pages 4 and 5. And check out the timeline at the bottom of the page to answer that question. And then question 3 is asking you to look at the quote and see which one has the correct punctuation and quotes correctly. So look for the commas, look for the periods, look where the quotation mark should be. Yes, Nora, how can I help you?
Are we on question 2 and 3?
Yes. Yep, so you're on slide 2, questions 2 and 3. I'm not going to sit with you through this whole thing because you're going to do some writing, but I thought we'd go along and take a look, and so that I could share divided loyalties with you too. You can come back to any question if I'm going too fast for you and double check, okay? I'm going to read the directions to part 2. All right, let me zoom in a little here. Part 2. Who were the Patriots and what did they believe? Follow the directions below to research and write a paragraph explaining who the Patriots were and what they believed. Complete the note catcher on the next page to capture your research about the Patriots from pages 4 and 5 in Divided Loyalties. All right, so this note catcher looks exactly like the one we did yesterday. So if you did all of that work from yesterday, you are good to go and you can use that. And the stuff that we did together is in the note catcher in this lesson for you. So you are going to add something from Divided Loyalties that tells you who the Patriots were and then what did they believe. So you should have over here in source, Divided Loyalties. And once again, who and what. So one section for who, one section for what. Before it became a country, America was made of 13 colonies, et cetera, et cetera. Some colonists called patriots felt that this was unfair about voting. The patriots wanted to set up their own government. Other colonists called loyalists. So you're going to put something specific about undivided loyalties. Who did they say patriots were? And then on the next one, undivided loyalties. What did it say they believed? And then you can put a direct quote from the text. Direct quote. Direct quote. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, so just stay with me and then you can come back to do this. On slide 4, write a short informative paragraph that explains who the patriots were and what they believed. Use the evidence you gathered on page 4 and 5 from the note catcher, and use evidence that you gathered from yesterday or that we gathered together. So you should have a good, solid, clean paragraph with at least one quote, 2 to 3 pieces of evidence. Okay, so what does every paragraph have to start with? What's the sentence called when you're starting a paragraph that tells the main idea of what you're writing about?
Introduction.
Introduction.
Right, it's an introduction, or you can call it the topic sentence since we're just doing a paragraph and not an essay. So we've got to restate what it says up here. So I could start something like that. The Patriots were whoa, my G key stuck. They were a group. Okay, so we state the question and the answer. You're going to have 2 to 3 pieces of evidence. You can say who they were. You could put more about who they were, and you want to put a couple things about what they believed and one quote from any of these sources. You can quote Divided Loyalties. You can quote something from Revolutionary War Part 1. Or you can quote Colonial Voices, Hear Them Speak. Those are the 3 sources we've looked at so far. Do you, my lovelies, have any questions, problems, or difficulties before you finish your assessment here?
No.
No.
Everybody feel good and solid and know what they're going to do?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay. Thank you so much for making sure you came to Zoom today. Make sure you get everything done in your task card. If you have questions about other things, you can stay in Zoom. If you're ready to do your mid-unit assessment, then you can close out of Zoom. I will be on GoGuardian. Take your assessment now.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
See ya.
All right. Nora, did you have a question, dear?
Yeah, do we have anything for social studies?
Just if you've already taken the test, then you're done for today unless you need to work on your birthday research a little bit.
All right. Do you know when that is due?
I don't know yet because everything is so crazy and we've had all these snow days and delays and yada yada, and I won't, trust me, you will have plenty of time. Cross my heart.
Because I'm on like the part where you like put the pictures and videos for like the events, death, and people.
So you're ready for that? On our next in-class day that we actually get to be in class, we'll work on that together.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Nora.